Croeso pawb to the mid-year deals PSN sale. As usual, I've gone through the sale for you, and I found some really cool games. A lot of these games I haven't featured before, so there's a lot of really cool games to take a look at, and even better, you can save a load of money on them as well. So if you like the idea of finding some cool new games to play, and saving a lot of money along the way, then you're at the right place. Don't forget to subscribe, and then you won't miss out on a great deal again. You're welcome here anytime. Now the sale ends on the 2nd of July, so that'll be the last day to pick up these deals. Let's look at the games. First up, we have Absolov End of Gods. It was released in 2021, so it's 4 years old, and it's on a 75% discount for the price of £3.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it. That's a pretty good deal, as this edition includes both the PS4 and PS5 version, with 4K support for PS4 Pro and PS4 5, so you do get the best version of the game if you've got a PS4 Pro or a PS5, which is great. In this horror game, you awaken a facility built to research the worlds of Yggdrasil and explore a nightmarish sanctuary of futuristic tech and Norse mythology as you navigate the chaos to survive lurking dangers and find your true purpose and destiny. Now, there's a massive amount of games in the horror genre, and a load of them are really popular and really good as well, but this one seems pretty different, and it looks like a cool mix of Norse mythology and sci-fi, which is really cool. I'm not really into horror, but it really intrigues me. I think it'll be something a bit different and really interesting for people that like these sorts of games. So if you're a big fan of horror games, and you really like Norse mythology, or you like sci-fi stories, then why not take a look at this? My gut says it's a really cool game that people who like this sort of thing will really enjoy. So if you like the look of it as much as I do, why not pick it up? It might just be a really cool game if you give it a chance. And hey, if you've never played a horror game before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here. You can get massive, big AAA ones that are really successful for about the same price as this, so you're probably better off starting with one of them instead. But hey, if you really like the look of this one, you could pick it up. It's a pretty good price, and it looks very interesting as well. So if you're really tempted by this, then why not take a look? But otherwise, you'll have plenty more to choose from in future sales, in future videos. We have a survival game next, Deadcraft Deluxe Edition. It was released in 2022, so it's 3 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £6.59, which is a really great deal for a game with a load of content, as this edition includes both the PS4 and PS5 version with 2 DLC packs. It came from the Junkyard, and Jesse Wasteland Wears a special costume and a resource pack as well, so you're getting the complete version of the game with everything included, which is really great. In this game, you get to survive a zombie apocalypse by growing your own zombie army and working together with others, or taking what you need with force. It features farming, crafting, base building, open world RPG mechanics, and a story as well. Now, at this point, there's a million zombie games and a load of survival games as well, but this one looks quite different. The idea of mixing farming with zombies seems pretty interesting to me, and people seem to like the game as well. It definitely seems like they've done something a bit different with this game, and I think fans of these genres will really like that. So if you're a fan of zombies or survival games, then why not take a look at this? Even if you're a fan of farming stuff, you might enjoy this. Pretty much, if you like games that offer something a bit different, then you should take a look at this. I think it'll be a really cool game for people that like that sort of thing. So why not take a look if you like the sound of it? And hey, if you've never played a survival game before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here. It is a really cool and interesting game, so take a look at it if you're really tempted, but you can get a load of other games for about the same price as this, and even a bit cheaper as well, and even big AAA legendary ones from the genre, so you're probably better off starting with one of them instead. But don't worry, I'll let you know when they're on sale next, so keep up with the videos, and then you won't miss out in the future. I really like the next game, Firewatch. It was released in 2016, so it's 9 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £2.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really low price for a controversial game. In this walking simulator, after taking a job as a fire lookout in the Wyoming wilderness, your only contact with humanity is through your radio, but when strange activities draw you from your tower, you must explore to uncover the source of the activity and work out what's going on in the wilderness. Now, I remember when this game came out, it was really popular, but also very controversial. Not for anything bad, it's just that some people thought that it wasn't really a game because there's not a lot of actual gameplay in it. And what I mean by that is, you walk around a lot, experience a story, and just kind of explore. I don't really get why people were annoyed about that, because there's been a load of games in history where you just walk around and explore stuff. So I didn't really see a big problem with it really, but people were kind of like, hey, you don't really do anything, so it's not really a game. And I was like, well, you're experiencing a story, and there are games where literally you just read stories, so I have a low bar maybe, but I'm okay with it. It's just not a game that a lot of people liked at the time. But hey, I played it because it used to be a PS Plus game, and I really enjoyed it. It's not going to knock your socks off, it's not going to be your favourite game, but if you like games with interesting stories, then this is a really chill game, and I quite enjoyed it. So if you like games that focus on story, and you like chill relaxing ones, then why not take a look at this? It's quite a cool little game, and I think a lot of people will really enjoy it, as long as their expectations are realistic. Then it'll be a great game for you. So why not take a look if you like the sound of it? And hey, if you've never played a walking simulator before, then you could definitely start here. It's a big one because it was a big deal at the time, and controversial like I said, but it's also a pretty decent game. As long as you know what you're getting yourself into, it's pretty enjoyable. So if you like the look of this one, why not check it out? I think you'll have a lot of fun if you're tempted by it. We have an RTS next, Frostpunk Complete Collection. It was released in 2021, so it's 4 years old, and it's on at least an 85% discount for the price of £5.54 or £3.69 with PS Plus, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it for PS Plus members only. And this collection includes the Season Pass of all 3 expansions, The Last Autumn, On the Edge, and The Rifts. So again, the complete version of the game with everything included, which is really good. You can't ask for much more really. In this game you get to build the last city on Earth in a frozen wasteland, where heat means life and every decision comes at a price. Only the right balance of survival and empathy will ensure the survival of the human race, with the limited resources remaining to you. Now, I'm a massive fan of RTS and management games, and in general you don't see a massive amount of them on console, which isn't a bad thing because I usually prefer to play them on PC with a keyboard and mouse. They're just designed better for those sorts of games. But hey, they're really good on console as well, and this is a really good modern one with all of the content included for a really good price as well. And people seem to really like it, it's got good reviews, and it just seems to be a good example of the genre. So if you're a fan of this genre and you've never played this game before, then why not check this out? I really like the story, theming and idea of this one. It really intrigues me and I think it'll be a lot of fun. So if you're into it as much as I am, definitely check it out. I think it'll be a really cool game if you like this sort of game. And hey, if you've never played an RTS before, then you could definitely start here. It's a really good game, it's really modern, and it's a really good deal as well. So if you're interested in it, or you've always been tempted by this genre, then definitely check this out. You might even have found your new favourite genre. We have a point-and-click adventure next, Lacuna. It was released in 2021, so it's 4 years old, and is on a 90% discount for the price of £1.59, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really cool deal for a really cool looking game. In this game, CDI agent Neil Conrad rushes to solve a case of murder, turning his life upside down as you ask questions and put together evidence, trying to reveal the ugly truth. It features multiple story decisions and possible endings as well. So if you're the sort of person that plays games over and over again, this will be great for you because you'll get to see different outcomes and different stories as well, which is pretty cool. Not every game lives up to that promise, but if this one does, then it'll be a really good game for people who like that sort of thing. Now, in general, point-and-click adventures aren't for everyone. Usually the logic is a bit obtuse and people can get a bit frustrated with the puzzles, but this game promises to be a modern one, getting rid of all of the negatives of the genre and improving on it in general, which is cool. If they succeed, then they might bring back a genre that's not that popular these days. And from what I've read, you can fail this game without even dying. You can literally just never solve the case. It's completely down to you on how you investigate and how you put together the evidence and what decisions you make as well. So I think this is a really good game. People seem to really love it, and I think people that are into point and click or just into investigation stuff in general will absolutely love this game. So if you're interested in any of what I've said, definitely check it out. I think you'll really enjoy this game if you give it a chance. And hey, if you've never played a point and click adventure before, then you could definitely start here. It's a really good one, it's a really modern one, and it's at a really low price as well. So you can't ask for much more really. If you've always been tempted by this genre, or you really like the look of this game, then why not take a look at it? I think you'll have a lot of fun with this one, and it might even start you on a journey down a really cool genre that you've never played before. So definitely take a look if you're tempted. We have a racing game next, MotoGP 24, PS4 and PS5. It was released in 2024, obviously, so it's only 1 year old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £8.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal, especially considering it's so new. And like the game title says, this edition includes the PS4 and the PS5 versions, so you get both versions of the game, which is really good. In this game, you get to challenge your racing abilities in MotoGP, Moto2, Moto3, and Moto-E competitions. It features all the official content, tracks, and races with an exhilarating campaign where you shape your own legacy in MotoGP history. Now, in general, you don't have a massive amount of bike racing games around. As far as official ones go, this is the series for you. They do have a lot of them, obviously, they release most years, so you can pick up older ones pretty cheaply. But hey, this is a pretty modern one for a pretty decent price. So if you're a fan of MotoGP or racing games games in general and you want to try out a bike racer, then why not check this out? They're really good games and they seem to put some effort into them. They add new story modes and that sort of thing, so they really do seem to care. It's not just a copy, paste, repeat sort of thing, as far as I can see anyway. So if you're interested in this sort of thing, why not check it out? It may not be the cheapest one you can buy, but it is a pretty modern one, so you get a really good deal. Why not check it out if you like the sound of it? And hey, if you've never played a racing game before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here. It's a really modern game and it's really good, so if you are tempted, then check it out. But you can get other ones cheaper than this, and even big legendary AAA ones as well. So if you're not into this one in particular, then don't worry, you'll have plenty of options in the future. So don't forget to subscribe, and then you won't miss them in the future when they come around next. Up next is my star buy, RoboCop Rogue City Alex Murphy Edition. It was released in 2023, so it's 2 years old, and it's on an 85% discount for the price of £8.24, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal for a big game that's pretty new as well, as this edition includes the OCP shotgun sidearm, damaged RoboCop skin, Auto 9 prototype skin, and digital art book as well. Now this extra content may not be for everyone, in which case you might want to wait for the standard edition to come on sale in the future. But if you really want the skin from the movie, like a lot of fans will, then it'll be worth picking this version up as well. Although it doesn't include everything, there is some other content that it doesn't, so just keep that in mind. This first-person shooter is set between RoboCop 2 and 3, where a crime wave has hit old Detroit and you have to investigate, leading you right into the heart of a shadowy conspiracy. It features the original RoboCop voice actor, good to see you back sir, 20 weapons to use, and open worlds with dynamic gameplay as well. Now I'm going to be real with you here. I'm a massive fan of RoboCop and it's an amazing film. If you've never seen it, go back and watch it. You're literally missing out on something really cool. Apart from that as well, the company that made this game, they've made a run of games and they're all based on old franchises. They made a Rambo game, they made a Terminator game, and they're not that big of a studio. Now, when they made the Rambo game, it was very simple and rubbish, got a load of bad reviews, but they were honest about it. They were like, yeah, it's not that great, but we're a small studio, that's all we could do, but it's made money and we're going to reinvest that in the next game. And they did, the Terminator game, which is a first-person shooter as well, and I'm dying to play that. It was an improvement on the Rambo game. Most people said it was a pretty mid game, but hey, if you're a fan of the series, I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun with it. But my point is, they improved, and that next game was really good, and then they took that money and they invested it again in this game, which again is better than the Terminator game. This game got pretty good reviews, especially for fans of the series, they really loved it, and I'm starting to love this developer. I'm really hoping they make a RoboCop vs Terminator game next. If you remember that series, it was legendary back in the day, and they could do it now. They've got the licenses, and they're getting better as they go along, so I'm excited if they announce that next. Either way, what I'm saying is, this isn't the best developer around, but they are improving, and they are doing a really good job, and this game is pretty well reviewed. So if you like first-person shooters and you're a fan of RoboCop, definitely check this out. Fans of the original film will love this game. I'm very tempted myself, I might just pick it up. So if you like the look of it as much as I do, definitely check it out. Like I said, it's my star buy. It's well worth your time and money, I promise. Dead or alive, this game's coming with you. And hey, if you've never played an FPS before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here. Like I said, it's not the best game around, and you can get other ones cheaper than this, and even big AAA legendary ones as well. So you're much better off starting with one of them instead. But hey, if you're a massive fan of RoboCop, definitely check it out. You won't regret it, I promise. Up next we have Serious Sam 4. It was released in 2021, so it's 4 years old, and it's on an 85% discount for the low price of £5.24, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal. This FPS is a prequel where humanity is under siege by the full force of the mental hordes, spread across the world ravaging the remains of the human race, and you must lead the last remaining resistance to try and save Earth before it's too late. Now in the last video, the first 3 games were in a bundle, and it was on a really big discount, and it was my star buy. So it's quite funny that this game's on sale next. If you picked up that last game sale, then you might want to check this out. It's the next game in the series, and it'll be more of the same, and you'll enjoy it just as much if you like the other games. In general, this series is basically around gameplay. There is a story, but it's pretty bare bones. It's based around fighting massive amounts of enemies with really cool guns and just really good old school gameplay. So if you're a fan of old retro shooters like Doom and that sort of thing, where it was all about just shooting and fun, then you'll really enjoy this series. And since this game is a prequel, you could even start with this one if you wanted to. But if not, like I said, the other 3 are usually in a bundle on sale, so you'll be able to pick them up in another sale instead. Either way, if you're into this sort of shooter, definitely check it out. It's old school, but it's a lot of fun, and it's really cool if you like this sort of game. And hey, if you've never played a first-person shooter before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here. It's a pretty good game at a pretty good price, but you can get other bigger AAA legendary ones for about the same price as well, and ones that are a bit more modern or have really good stories built in as well. So you're probably better off starting with one of them. Unless you're an old school gamer and you just want really good gameplay with a load of cool fun shooting, then you'll probably really enjoy this game, in which case you could take a look at it. It's at a good deal as well, although the bundle for the first 3 games is probably a better deal, so you might want to wait for that instead. We have a VR game next, Sprint Vector. It was released in 2018, so it's 7 years old, and it's on an 85% discount for the low price of £2.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal for a cool looking VR game. This VR racer requires move controllers, so if you don't have them you can't play them, which is really cool because it's the basis of how the game works, so without them you just wouldn't be getting the same experience really. In this game, you get to race offline or online in this VR foot race game featuring running, jumping, drifting, climbing, shooting, dodging, flying, and more, with plenty of characters to play as, weapons, and items to use during the races as well. So this game is basically like Mario Kart but in VR, and instead of driving a kart, you're sprinting around on your own legs, which is just as crazy as it sounds, but it'll be a lot of fun, and it's quite interesting. This was the last game I expected to make a VR version of, but it's really cool, and it's the sort of thing that VR is made for new and interesting experiences. So if you like racing games, and you're into VR, you definitely want to take a look at this. It's a really odd game, but if you like racing stuff, then you'll probably really enjoy it. It may be a bit odd and niche, but I think it'll be a lot of fun for people that are interested in this game. So if you've got a PSVR 1 and you're tempted, why not take a look at it? I think it might just be a really cool game if you like the look of it. And hey, if you've never played a VR racer before, then you could definitely start here. It may be a bit odd and niche, but it's a really good game for a really low price. I don't know how active the multiplayer is these days, but hey, I'm sure you can have just as much fun running around your own living room, so why not take a look at this if you're tempted? It's a really cool and interesting game. I think it'll be a lot of fun if you pick it up. Pretty much the only reason I'd say not to pick this up is if you're into the more serious simulation sort of racing games, then in which case there'll be other games for you to choose from in future sales instead. Our next game is Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town. It was released in 2021, so it's 4 years old, and is on an 88% discount for the price of £4.19, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really good deal for a cool game, which even includes a cow costume skin. And just so you know, the Story of Seasons Pioneers of Olive Town and Expansion Pass set is also on sale for 75% discount, at the price of £11.24. So if you're interested in that game instead, or as well as this, you might want to check that out as well. In this farming sim, after inheriting your grandfather's farm, you return to the charming village of Mineral Town to restore the farm to its former glory by growing crops, rearing livestock, starting a family, and taking part in many local activities and events. Now, this game is basically part of the Harvest Moon series. The company that makes it doesn't own the rights to the Harvest Moon property anymore, so they can't call it that, so they renamed them Story of Seasons. And that's a big deal, because this series has been around a long time, and it's massively popular. Now, I will say these days it's been taken over by some other series, kind of like Stardew Valley, or even more niche things like My Time at Portia. But hey, it's a legendary series, and it's really good for a reason. The graphics for this may not be for everyone because they're kind of cutesy and big-headed, but if you're a fan of this series and you want a modern one, this is a really good game for a really good price. They may not be the most popular farming game around these days, but it's still a legendary game from a legendary series, and you don't lose that overnight. It's really good quality and really enjoyable if you like this sort of game. So if you're really into farming simulators and you used to love Harvest Moon, you might want to check this out. It's a really cool game at a really decent price. So why not take a look if you like the sound of it? And hey, if you've never played a farming sim before, then you could start here. Like I said, it's from a legendary series, it just doesn't have the name anymore, and it's really well reviewed and people really like it. And it's at a really good deal as well. So if you've always been tempted by this, then why not check it out? It's cheaper than some of the other options, and it's from a really big series with a load of pedigree in its past. So you can't ask for much more really. If you're tempted, definitely check it out. It might just be the best game you've played in ages. Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes Complete Edition is our next game. It was released in 2019, so it's 6 years old, and it's on an 88% discount for the price of £3.95, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal, as this edition includes both DLC expansions, the Black Dandelion, and Bubblegum Fatale, which is really great, getting the complete version for a really low price. In this top-down hack-and-slash game, after Badman comes knocking to avenge his daughter, him and Travis get sucked into a games console, and now must work together to fight their way through a load of games to escape back to the real world. Now, this game was originally a Wii series, I think, way back in the day. It was an exclusive, and it was really popular. It was really well known for being a really cool action game with really bonkers story and crazy characters, so pretty Japanesey, really. But hey, it was really popular, and it was a Nintendo game, so you know that it was really good quality. Back then, anyway. But since then, the games have been ported to modern consoles, and this is one of the new versions of the game. It's not third person like most of them. You don't see many isometric top-down games anymore, but hey, it's from a really big series, and it seems to be a really good game from a niche genre that a lot of people still love. So if you're a fan of action games, or this game series, then you might want to check this out. It's a bit different compared to most of them, but it's still a really good game, and I think a lot of people will like it, especially if they're a fan of the series. So if you're into hack and slash games, why not check this out? It's a bit bonkers, but you'll have a lot of fun with it if you like this sort of game, so why not check it out? And hey, if you never played a top-down hack and slash game before, then you could start here. It's a big game from a big series at a really good price, so you can't ask for much more really. You might just have a load of fun if you give it a chance. And the final game I have for you is Zombie Army 4 Dead War. It was released in 2020, so it's 5 years old, and is on a 90% discount for the price of £3.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal. In this first-person shooter, the Resistance has won, casting zombie Hitler into hell, but the dead rise again in greater numbers than ever seen before, and now you need to fight through huge new levels, uncovering a sinister plan, leading you across Italy and beyond. This game features 4-player online co-op, which is really great. I wish more co-op games would exist. I really miss the old days of just having really cool single-player action games that you could play with your mates. That makes this game really good for a group of friends, so if you've got friends that you play with regularly, or you just have friends and family that you like to play with occasionally, you might really enjoy this game. It's from a good series with a really good pedigree, and it's a lot of fun. So if you like first-person shooters, zombies, and playing with your mates or other people, then you'll have a lot of fun with this. It's a really good game from a massive series. It's a bit like a modern Left 4 Dead, and that's really high praise, so why not check it out if you like the sound of it. And hey, if you've never played a first-person shooter before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here. This game is more orientated towards playing with friends, so you can get much better single-player, story-based games for about the same price, and even big legendary ones as well. So you're much better off starting with one of them instead. But hey, if you've got a group of friends that you play with, then this is a really good game, so definitely take a look at it, if that's your sort of thing. And if not, don't worry, don't miss the videos, and you won't miss your other options when they come on sale next. And that's all the games I have for the mid-year deals PSN sale. What did you think of the games I picked? Did I pick good ones or did I pick bad ones? And what about the start buy? Did it deserve it, or should some other game have got it instead? Leave all your comments below and we can talk about it later. Anyway, I hope you found some really cool games to play, but more importantly I hope you saved a lot of money. I'll see you guys in the next sale. Au revoir.